In a small, picturesque village, there lived an elderly woman who earned her livelihood by selling fresh produce. Known for her cheerful demeanor and simple ways, she traveled to the nearby town daily, carrying goods to the bustling market. One day, a shopkeeper approached her with a special request. He asked her to bring him a pound of the finest butter from her village. Promising a fair price, he struck a deal, and the old lady agreed eagerly. Seeing it as a good opportunity, she returned to her village and carefully selected the freshest, creamiest butter. Packing it neatly, she set out early the next morning and delivered it to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper was a man of greed and suspicion. After the old woman left, he decided to verify whether the butter weighed exactly a pound. Placing it on his scale, he discovered that it was a few ounces short. Furious, he decided to teach the old lady a lesson. "She dares to cheat me," he fumed. Without a second thought, he took the matter to the town court. Accusing the woman of deceit, the old lady was summoned to court. Standing humbly before the judge, she listened quietly as the shopkeeper accused her of dishonesty. The judge turned to the woman and asked, "Do you have a proper scale to measure the butter you sell?" The old lady replied calmly, "Your Honor, I am a simple villager. I do not own a scale, but I have always been fair in my trade." The judge asked, "If you don't have a scale, how do you ensure that the butter you sell weighs accurately?" With a calm voice, the old lady explained, "Your Honor, I use the shopkeeper's loaf of bread as my measure. Each day, I place the loaf he sells me on one side of the scale and give him the equivalent weight in butter." The courtroom fell silent. It was now clear that the shopkeeper's dishonesty had been his downfall. By underweighting the bread he sold to the old lady, he had unknowingly shortchanged himself when receiving butter in return. Embarrassed and unable to defend himself, the shopkeeper lowered his head in shame. The judge dismissed the charges against the old woman and reprimanded the shopkeeper for his fraudulent practices. From that day forward, the shopkeeper learned the value of honesty and fairness in his dealings. The old lady returned to her village with her head held high, a symbol of integrity and wisdom. What motivational lessons can we learn from this story? 1. Honesty is the best policy. This story highlights that truthfulness and fairness are the pillars of success. Dishonesty may provide short-term gains, but ultimately leads to embarrassment and loss. 2. What goes around comes around. Our actions, good or bad, have a way of coming back to us. The shopkeeper's deceit resulted in his own humiliation, showing that fairness and honesty are always the best approaches. 3. Fairness builds trust. Integrity is essential in any relationship, whether in trade or personal interactions. Acting fairly fosters mutual respect and builds trust over time. 4. Accountability matters. The story teaches us the importance of being accountable for our actions. Trying to deceive others often backfires, leading to lessons learned the hard way. A Pound of Butter is a simple yet powerful story that reinforces the importance of honesty and fairness. It reminds us that our actions reflect our character and that integrity is the foundation of trust and respect. By embracing truthfulness in all aspects of life, we can build meaningful relationships and create a fairer world.